This is the Multi-Orgasmic Mama, the podcast for high-achieving moms to have sex worth putting the energy in for. I'm Tilly Storm, a holistic sex and intimacy coach, and it's my mission to help you want sex again, to have better orgasms, and to feel confident and sexy so you experience more pleasure in the bedroom and beyond. Welcome back, mamas. I'm excited to share with you today all about coming together and the 3 reasons that you aren't having orgasms with your partner. Many of you come to me because you want to learn how to have an orgasm with your partner. This can mean quite a few things to different people. I'm really excited over here about helping you see what's possible. I am all about opening and expanding your vision of what it's like to go through midlife or motherhood or both, while opening to all the pleasure and the bliss available to you, as opposed to contracting and going into struggle and survival mode through this oftentimes challenging part of life. But I want everyone, especially moms, to know just how much more is available to you as you open and expand your body's capacity to receive more pleasure. One way that women often want to do that is through the experience of being able to orgasm with their partner. Let's go over what that might mean for you. I find that it means one of 3 things. I'm going to name them A, B, and C. A, being able to orgasm in the presence of your partner at all, because maybe you've only ever been able to do it on your own. B, being able to orgasm from your partner's stimulation, whether it be their hand, their mouth, their cock, or other accoutrements. But you can give yourself an orgasm with your hand, a vibrator, or other accoutrement in front of them. Or maybe it could mean C for you, which is being able to orgasm at the same time as your partner. So these are the 3 different definitions that I could sum up when people say, I want to come with my partner. It could mean usually any one of these 3 things. So whatever your definition of coming together means, there are also 3 reasons why you aren't. So let's talk about those. And then I'm going to break them down with definition A, B, and C. The first reason that you aren't having orgasms with your partner is fear of vulnerability. The second is ineffective communication about what you want and like. And the third is that there's no connection to you or your partner's sexual energy. If you have tried coming together many times, but it's still not happening for you, it's almost always because one of these 3 things, all right? You are afraid of being fully seen. You are afraid of fully surrendering and fully expressing yourself with your partner sexually. You're not getting the right type of stimulation from your partner because maybe you don't know what you want and what you like. And maybe if it's, being able to orgasm from penetration with your partner, maybe you've never activated things inside of your internal vagina to be able to do that before. Or maybe you just have no idea what sexual energy is and you're thinking, Tilly, what the hell? I don't even know what you're talking about when you say that. While there are others of you out there listening and they're like, oh yes, I totally get that. Let's break it down. If coming together means to you, definition A, which is not being able to orgasm in the presence of your partner at all, but you can orgasm on your own. This one is a classic vulnerability and communication hang-up, my loves. You're not taking a stand for your pleasure. You're not effectively communicating what you want and need, likely because you don't know what that is. And even if you did, you probably have hang-ups around being fully seen in your pleasure. Why does this happen? Maybe in your past, someone made a negative comment about your sexual expression. Maybe someone used your sexuality against you in the past. These are a couple common reasons why it would be difficult to come together with your partner if you know that you can do it on your own, but you can't do it in the presence of your partner. If this is you, the key to coming together is getting real with them, discovering what you want and like, taking a stand for what works for you by effectively communicating that to your partner. It also will require you healing any wounds that you have around being fully sexually expressed, which most of us have in some way or another. But for someone experiencing not being able to orgasm at all with their partner, but they know they can on their own, this is a biggie. So how do you do that, you might be asking? Great question. You heal wounds of sexual self-expression through your own self-pleasure training. One thing that I like to suggest is to self-pleasure or masturbate, whatever word you like to use, while you're watching yourself in the mirror. Why? Because this is going to bring up all of your shit. I know this might sound crazy. This might sound like, oh my God, you want me to masturbate in front of a mirror while I'm watching myself? Yes, that is what I mean. And I say this because this will help you get really clear about what hangups you are experiencing emotionally. The emotions that you will commonly come up against are shame, guilt, fear, or disgust around your own sexual expression. I promise you, if you watch yourself self-pleasuring, you're going to have something come up. It's going to feel a little weird, a little awkward at first. And this is to show you what all is ready to be healed and integrated so that you can show up fully self-expressed with your partner. Now, let's take coming together definition B, for example. This is where you are able to orgasm using your hand or a vibrator in the presence of your partner, but you are not able to receive an orgasm from your partner stimulating you. If this is you, this is likely a combination of ineffective communication, telling your partner what works for you and what doesn't, and or a lack of knowing how to activate your internal vaginal canal for pleasure. So if you want to come together with your partner from your partner's stimulation, first, you gotta get clear on where the hang up is specifically. So here are some questions that I would ask you if this were your problem and you were coming to me, and this would be the diagnosis, okay? Is your partner not providing the right type of stimulation for you? Are you able to explain to your partner what type of stimulation would work for you? Do you not even know what kind of stimulation you desire for your partner to give you? Have you ever practiced activating your G-spot, your A-spot, or your cervix with your partner before? Do you even know where and what these spots are? And sadly, many of you don't. I just did a podcast on the cervix and cervical orgasms. It is episode 210, so you can go check that one out for the cervix. And there's also one on here, I don't remember the number, but it would be on how to have vaginal orgasms from penetration. I have definitely covered that as a title on this podcast. So go check that one out if you want to hear about the G-spot and the A-spot specifically. So if you just were silently answering some of the questions that I were posing to you, I want you to start to think of these things as well. If your partner is not providing the right types of stimulation, have you told them? Have you asked for something different? Are you effectively communicating in the moment what type of stimulation you require? Or are you holding back because you're afraid of bruising their ego? Have you explored your own body enough to know what might even feel good to you? These are all questions I love to explore in couples coaching specifically, because this is the space where we can create to discuss and diagnose exactly what's working and what's not working so everyone can be experiencing epic sex. So now let's take coming together definition C and pick that one apart. This is where you desire to come at the same time. This is my favorite one. I love talking about this. It's very tantra in nature. So yes, we're going there. We're going to talk about sexual energy, and you're going to be like, what the hell, Tilly? And I'd be like, yeah, we're going there. All right. If you've yet to experience coming together at the same time as your partner, it's often because either one or both of you isn't in tune with the other person's sexual energy, and you're not able to perceive where you are and where your partner really is, because you haven't been very intentional about your sexuality. You've never really attuned to what's happening in your body. Sex has probably been very heady, something where you have to fantasize or you're really thinking about it a lot, but you're not actually paying attention to what's going on energetically or in your body. For people really in tune with their sexual energy or really energetically inclined, and maybe even very empathic. You may notice that it's actually easy for you to detect how close your partner is to orgasm or how close that you are. But for those of you who are thinking, Tilly, what the fuck is sexual energy anyway? I have no idea what you're really talking about. Well, it's no wonder that you're having a difficult time coming at the same time as your partner. Being deeply connected to your partner and their sexual energy is key to being able to orgasm at the same time. So you've got to feel like an energetic resonance with your partner for this to happen. So what is sexual energy? It is literally any sensations of pleasure, turn on, lust, desire. It could be heat, a tingling sensation, pressure, anything that you're feeling that feels pleasurable in your body that usually is happening in your genitals. It could be elsewhere, but most commonly in your genitals, you're feeling this activation, this like sort of aliveness. This is sexual energy. So there's a couple ways to increase your energetic sensitivity and to begin connecting with sexual energy. I like to explain it that sexual energy is like connecting to sensations that are in motion. If you can think of going outside on a really cold, snowy day, maybe you're going snowboarding or skiing or something, and you're outside and you get so cold that your hands, they kind of freeze up. Maybe your toes get like slightly frostbitten, or they just get so cold you can't really feel anything. And then when you go back inside and you go next to a warm crackling fire or something, you take your gloves off and your fingers, you literally feel the heat coming back into your body. You feel that sensation traveling up your hand into your arm. This is the same sort of way that you can perceive sexual energy. It's pleasure and turn on that you're feeling in your genitals that you learn to move through your body. So it's not solely located in your genitals, that you have the ability and access to move that sexual energy through your body. The more that you can begin to connect with your sexual energy in this highly attuned way, the easier it will be to perceive the level of turn on in your partner. So if you're new to connecting with and learning to move sexual energy, you can do it in one of three ways. Number one, you can move sexual energy with your mind. Your sexual energy is moving through your body. You're envisioning it moving through your body, creating the intention to move the energy, and use this focus to take the energy and move it through the body. So this is one way that you can get really deep and develop more focus and attention into what's happening in your body and the energy in there in the first place. So if you're a super heady person, if you find yourself thinking a lot in sex, it's going to be difficult, but you do get to train yourself to do this, because if you're not, then sex is only going to be a very heady experience for you, and you're likely never going to get out of thinking about the to-do list when you are making love with your partner, which pretty much sucks because that doesn't give you a lot of access to pleasure. So you can move sexual energy with your mind, just literally focusing on it and envisioning it moving through your body. The second way to move sexual energy is with your breath. So as you breathe, you can move your sexual energy as you inhale, pull it up the back of your body, up to the top of your head, and exhale it back down. And the last way you can move sexual energy is using the muscles of your body. For guys, this is squeezing your PC muscle, clenching it to bring sexual energy through your body. And for ladies, this is pulling energy literally up the back of the spine to the top of the head and down the front of the body through what we call in the Taoist tradition, the microcosmic orbit. So connecting with sexual energy can take a lot of practice for someone who isn't really energetically inclined to begin with, but it can be a powerful way to attune more deeply to yourself and your partner so you can get to the point where you're so in tune with each other's sexual energy that you come together. If this is something that you would like to take deeper and really learn how to do with your partner, then I want to encourage you to apply for couples coaching. Currently, I have 2 spots available for one-on-one private coaching with me with your partner. So this is a really amazing experience to work with me one-on-one privately, and I will include the link to the application in the show notes. So all you have to do is click the link. You go fill out the answer to the questions, book the call time, and we'll hop on and see if this might be right for you. Lots of people hesitate about filling out this application because they're worried about where their answers are going, and I want to assure you that I am the only one to read the answers to your questions in this specific application link at the link in the show notes. If you're interested in couples coaching, go apply and book a call time, and we'll connect sometime soon. All right, my loves, thanks so much for joining me this week, and we will see you next week for another episode. Loved this content? Then be sure to download my private podcast training, 5 Days to Epic Sex and Pleasure for High-Achieving Moms at www.tillystorm.com/5-day training.